Hello, welcome back to FPL Crusader stream or podcast, whatever you want to call it. Today we're doing Game Week 13 review and 14 preview. It's a very quick game week, as we mentioned. So without further ado, let's crack on because I've had a shocking game week. I've dropped 1 million ranking points and I don't want to talk about it, but I have to. I've made a commitment. Thank you very much to History Scoop. Proudly sponsors us once again. Without them, we couldn't get all their slides and everything else done. So thank you very much for bite-sized videos on the go. Go to History Scoop, like and subscribe, and then like and subscribe us. So let's have a crack. Game week 13, MVP, Kevin Sade, hat-trick. He played really well. He took away my captaincy points from Brian and Buemo, but whatever. Good on you, fella. 3 goals, 1 assist. That's huge. 4 returns in 1 game week, and he played really, really well. There was one of the goals that could have gone to someone else, but I think they gave it to him essentially because he's on a hat-trick. 3 bonus, 23 points. That's huge. So if you brought him in or if you transferred him out, commiserations. But if you brought him in, well done. Just have a quick look on the left-hand side here about the matchups this week. Palace and Newcastle. Once again, frustrating Newcastle assets. Same with Brighton. A draw as well with Southampton. I mean, I had thoughts of either Matoma or Jorginho Rutter coming into my team. Matoma's playing well, but you just don't know who's going to get the goals. Is it going to be Pedro, Welbeck, Matoma, Rutter? They got Solly March coming back. Adingra wants to score as well. Yankuba Minter is there as well. With the fixture crush, expect some rotation. So, I don't know. With Brighton a little bit, I'd kind of want to back off a bit. I also contemplated getting one of their defenders, but they're one of the worst defenses, to be fair. So, who knows? I don't think I'll go there. Brentford, as I said about Sade and everyone else, they look great. They're a little bit shocked with Buonanotte getting a goal for Leicester. He's back. He seems to be scoring whenever he wants to. So he did good. But with Brentford, he need a piece of their offense. But their fixtures fall off a cliff in the next couple of game weeks. Crystal Palace, Newcastle. I didn't watch this game. I saw the highlights. Newcastle, geez, Eddie Howe must be worried, eh? I mean, they're struggling. They're not playing well ever at all. They got Liverpool at home this week. They should win that. That should be a game they say, pull your britches up, boys. We need to win this one. But we'll see what happens. Forest, Ipswich. Forest looked a little bit toothless, but once again, he's inevitable. The Kiwi Kane scores the goal. Bournemouth and Wolves. Bournemouth without Semenyo looked amazing. Bournemouth with Semenyo looked almost amazing. Food for thought. The Wolves assets didn't do that flash. Everyone expected Cunha to go well. Just wasn't his day there, I guess. Arsenal, West Ham. Wow. 7 goals in the first half and then nothing. They literally put their controller down and went home. So they played pretty well, but they still let in 2 goals. Those that went double and triple Arsenal defense will be frustrated. But if you had Gabriel, he got a goal and assist, so that should be fine. Chelsea destroyed Villa. Villa are sitting in 12th. Once again, they don't look like the team they were last year. Cole Palmer, is he back? He went for a few game weeks without doing very good. Now they've got a really amazing run moving forward. I don't like the essential term. No one is essential because you can always make up points, but bloody hell, he's pretty close. Rashford again for United. We remember 2 years ago when Rashford went on that purple patch. This is his purple patch now. He's a confidence player. They've got some shocking fixtures coming up. That's the only concern. Tottenham, Fulham, I said it last week. Fulham, Tottenham's bounce from beating City. They'll be a little bit lackluster, and Fulham will want something to prove after being destroyed by Wolves last week. So it's just a boring game. And Liverpool City, we all knew what was going to happen there. City remain toothless. It's really do or die this weekend for their title campaign. I mean, they need to do something. I'm not sure what Pep's... Well, everyone's been mocking Pep. Well, not everyone. A few people have been mocking Pep. But if he's going through mental health distress, I don't think we should mock him. But I'd like to think he has some support network there in terms of his coaches. They should be able to at least assist him with some tactical changes. He doesn't seem to be getting that support on or off the pitch at the moment, which is frustrating for him. They're classy enough to turn it around. It's just how long's a piece of string? When's it going to happen? That being said, there's some strange results, but there were also a lot of double-digit differentials this week. So double-digit differentials, for those who don't know, under 10%, scoring more than 10 points or more. There were 12 of them this week. I'll quickly run through them. Kukurea, Munoz, Sade, as we said. Kluivert there as well, got a hat-trick for Bournemouth. Rashford was there. Trossard keeps getting points. I don't know who Adam is. Anyway, Matoma, Johnson, Joshua Xerxes, who's bench fodder, but he got 2 goals. Evan Nielsen again. I've been plodding along with Evan Nielsen, saying he's amazing, and not bringing him in, but I could be advising on points, but missing them out. And Strand Larson there with 11 as well. He got a goal. Evan Nielsen. So a lot of the forwards, most of the midfielders, Kluivert, Rashford, Trossard, Matoma, and Johnson. So the highest there was 14. Apart from Sade and Kluivert, who hit the 20s, it's actually relatively low. Usually you see 16s, 17s, 15s, that type of thing. But if you take away Sade and Kluivert, it's quite a low-scoring double-digit differentials week. That being said, there's more of them this week, so I guess on average it's more. If you had any of those, well done. As you can see, the likes of Sade, 0.4% owned, I think he was, 23 points. Kluivert, 1% owned, 20 points. The highest there is Johnson. He got 10. He's only 9% owned. But you just don't know if he's going to start next week with Johnson. He likes to be benched, and just likes benching people randomly, regardless of tactics needed. Let's have a crack at your captaincy choices for game week 13. And the first time in a long time, Mo Salah is the number 1 captaincy option for the game week. Salah was 28, Haaland was 26, Salah with 13 points, rewarded all of the captainers. Well done. Palmer got 14 points and Saka with 18 as well. And the rest of them pretty much failed, apart from the 2% that went on Bruno. But that's well over 50% of the FPL managers out there. Palmer on 8%, which wasn't too bad. And then Saka with 5. And everyone else was 3 or under. Lots of 2s and 1s there. Less said about Haaland, the better. I captained Mbeumo, and he wasn't even... Oh, he was 2.7% there for Mbeumo. Speaking of captaining Mbeumo, let's have a look at my team. That should say Dallo success, not Salah success. So 43 points. It's actually 39 points because I took a hit. Mbeumo cap, boo, 4 points there. Wolves failed me, and the keepers are just creeping along their points with 2, 2, 2, and 2. Every week, both keepers. It doesn't matter who I use. Complete failure. 43 points, game week rank of 9 million. It's probably closer to 10 if you take off the 4 points. For Bragan with 2, 8 Nori got a big fat 0. Dina got 1. The Troller's back. Dalo got 6. Kulusevski with 20 minutes got 2 points. João Gomez got 2 points, but he looked half decent, so I'm going to keep him in next week. Salah with 13, should have been my captain. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. And Mbeumo got 4. Jackson got 6. That was good. Havertz got 6. That was good. So I'm starting to be rewarded again for Havertz. I'm keeping Jackson there as well. And Haaland with the 2. I'm going to have to keep riding this Haaland train purely because I've got some other issues to fix. I've already got Salah. I've got Jackson who can cover Palmer now and then. I don't like the cover word, but I'm going to use it in this instance because I think it's correct. There's a couple of things I need to do. I think I need to get rid of Kulusevski. I can play him this week, but next week I might have to do the chop. It's either him or McNeil. I really want to bring in Rutter, but I'll need to see this week how he plays, if he gets the amount of minutes I think he's going with. If Matoma gets another goal, he's a consideration as well. That being said, I'm looking at Bowen and Mohamed Kudus from West Ham. So all these people are in my mind currently. We'll see how we go for game week 15. I've already done my 14 transfers, which I'll show you a little bit now. Speaking of game week 14, deadline is Tuesday, the 3rd for UK time. Let's have a look at some of these fixtures here. Aston Villa, Brentford. Villa's at home. It is the Ollie Watkins show, but who knows if it's going to be Aston Villa's time to shine. Who else we got? Arsenal, Manchester United. Manchester United on a new manager bounce, but they're traveling to the Emirates. That's tough. Wolves down the bottom there. They've got a really good run. So do West Ham, to be fair. So do Leicester and Ipswich, but no one cares about them. Fulham at home to Brighton. Now, Brighton struggles against Fulham. I don't know if it's how we set them up or if Marco just knows how they're going to play, but that's just how we're looking. And then Spurs. Bournemouth, then Chelsea, then Southampton. So it's up to you whether you keep your Spurs assets. The FPL injury list, I got this from FPL Analytics. So Gabriel, 6.2 million. He is now 25% owned. He got a goal and an assist. He got a knock, though. 75% chance. He is doubtful whether or not they want to play him at home to United or rest him, because there's another game week in 3 or 4 days. As you can see, It's a Tuesday game week and then a Saturday game week and 14-15 on the right-hand side there. They've got a lot of injuries in defense, so they probably need to roll them out. It says doubtful. Chances are he could play. If you've got him, you'd have to play him anyway. Alexander Isak, 8.5 million, 18% owned. He's got a hip injury, 75% chance. It's one of the biggest games of the year. Number one place by 11 points is Liverpool, and they're travelling to Newcastle. Alexander Isak should play unless there's a further development, you'd think. Speaking of Liverpool, Ibrahim Konate, 5.3 million, 12.1% owned. He's got a knee injury. He's 25% chance to play. All likelihood, he will be rested. And then you might see him in the Merseyside derby away to Everton for 15. So out of those three, so the reason I only put three here, these are the top three owned in the FPL. Gabriel, I just don't think they can afford another defender not to play. Otherwise, they got Kiwior, who against Rashford, if Rashford isn't on form and he's confident, could make him look silly. So I think Gabriel will play. Isaac will play against Liverpool, but Konate, I think, will get rested. So there's the FPL injury list. If you've got any of those, that's up to you, whether you want to keep them. Each week I choose one player to bin or ban. It usually means I've got a good fixture this game week, and then the next few game weeks are tough. This week it is Dominic Solanke. Do you bin him or do you ban him? Why would you, or banned him, I should say. Why would you bin him? He missed the last game week in illness, or was he dropped? We don't know how Ange's mind works. I don't think he was dropped, but if he's still crook by Tuesday, he probably won't play. So you probably bin him, right? That being said, if it's just an illness, and as Adam from Above Average mentioned earlier, if a 5-year-old can get over an illness in 3 or 4 days, surely this bloke can with all the resources at his fingertips. Another reason why you might want to bin him as well if he's not confident of playing, and also Chelsea and Liverpool in the next 3 game weeks, which Spurs will lose heavily on both of those, I believe. Chelsea will capture them on the run, and Liverpool are just too strong this year for Spurs. No offense to my friends who are Spurs supporters. I also live in Australia, so everyone who loves Ange will probably hate that as well, but it's just a matter of fact for this particular season. However, if he does play this week, the Cherries' defense is very leaky. They're playing Bournemouth. Bournemouth love scoring. We've seen the last couple of game weeks. They're pretty good at scoring, but they always let a few in. Big Dom could have fun there. And he should be fresh for this game week as well. So he's still battling above his XGI. He's got 7 goals and assists at 6.2 XGI. He's probably the least exciting pick out of the Spurs assets, apart from maybe Kulusevski, who obviously I've gone with. But he's probably the least exciting, but he's probably who else is going to take his spot at the front? Kulusevski can't play there. Werner could, but he probably do just as much as Solanke does on his bad days anyway. So, look, away to Bournemouth with the fixtures this week, I think he could be a viable captaincy option, but he is someone to make a decision of whether or not you bring him in, you captain him, or do you transfer him out, because the long term doesn't look overly flash. Speaking of captaincy, I usually run through 3 different players for the captaincy conundrum for game week 14. The first one under my consideration, and probably one I would have the captaincy band on if I had him in my team, is Cole Palmer. He's away to a depleted Southampton. Now, people need to understand that Southampton have got 3 players, I should say, out of this game week. So we've got Hardwood Ballas, Dibbling, and Downs. Now, Dibbling was the core for last week. They almost won the game because of him. He's gone, so who knows how the team's going to react there. Downs was the bloke who scored the goal. His first ever Premier League goal. He's 25, but he's been suspended as well. And Hardwood Ballas isn't playing either. Cole Palmer is the clear talisman for this Chelsea team. Everything goes through him, and he's in form. He's about to go on a streak. He's a very streaky player. We've only seen one season, but he does have some peaks and troughs, but when he gets 1 or 2, like he did last game week, he generally backs that up with more and more and more. And he is completely outperforming his XGI. He's got 8 goals, 6 assists at 8.9 XGI. Captaincy conundrum number 1, Mr. Cole Palmer. Number 2, Mr. Ollie Watkins. He's at home to Brentford. We've seen this year that Villa is Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is Villa. They don't really have any other options in offense. They haven't got the likes of last year like Bailey, who are getting a few goals and assists. Brentford give away more chances than Oprah. Oprah is famous for giving away everything. Well, Brentford give away just as many chances in any given game week. They might have had a streak where they scored in the first minute the last few years, but our last few game weeks a while back. But their defense is shocking, to be fair. That's something they'll need to invest in either in the summer or the January transfer window. I think Ollie Watkins could do well against them. Once again, he's outperforming his XGI 6.2 and then 7.5 XGI. So captaincy conundrum number 2 is Mr. Ollie Watkins. And number 3 is some Norwegian bloke that everyone seems to hate lately. Erling Haaland, he's at home to Forest. He is still Erling Haaland. Is he? He's underperforming his XGI now. 12 goals at 12.4 XGI. It's now or never for City's season. When Pep has been backed into the wall previously, he usually comes out swinging. So it'd be nice just to see City just get all out attack and don't worry about their defense. Their defense is shocking anyway. It'd be nice just to see them put like 4 or 5 different attackers who want to score goals and just have a crack. There is a chance that Forest could bunker down and play the negative defense, and they could take Erling Haaland out of the game, but he's at home. He's at Forest. I think they'll need to use this as a catalyst to get their season moving forward. So he's still going to have a high chance of being captaincy this week for me. Erling Haaland, captaincy conundrum number 3. And our diamond differential for game week 14 is Mr. Jarrod Bowen. So if you were going for a differential for one game week punt, it'll be this bloke. They're away to Leicester. West Ham have 4 greens in the next 5, so if you brought him in, you could probably keep him for the next 5. He's only 5.8% owned. Now, this guy used to be a stud in FPL. He'd be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, usually top 5 in terms of midfield scoring. It's just he hasn't got the team around him to support him anymore, or at least they're not playing that well. He's still outperforming his XGI. He's got 3 goals, 4 assists at 4.9 XGI. I think he'll do really well. I think that ownership is up to 6% now, so he just fits in under the 10% mark. Jarrod Bowen is your diamond differential of the game week. I think he'll do pretty well this week and the next couple. A lot of people will be flocking to him, especially he's almost a like-for-like for Brian Mbeumo, whose fixtures, as I said, are falling off a cliff very, very soon. All right, almost done here. We're going to wrap this up with how my team looks. Shocked. Look at it down the bottom. It's just so bad. 1.7 million. I dropped 900,000 in one game week. I was so confident going in too. Fantastic. That's FPL folklore. All right, I've made one transfer this week. Dallo got me 6 points last week, but he's come out and I've brought in Urian Timber because I want part of that Arsenal defense. Even though they're letting other teams score, I still want Arsenal defense moving forward. This is a long-term plan for me, so he'll stay there for the long term. I've got one midfielder and one defender from Everton. I've also got the same combination from Wolves. I have to make a decision, and I'm going for Wolves because I brought in Aït-Nouri and Gomez last week for a hit, but I brought them in for 5 game weeks. So I'm going to play them pretty much every game week, and then their fixtures fall off a cliff, and they'll both go out. Not necessarily for a hit again, but Ryan Aït-Nouri and João Gomez will be starting lineup this week, which means McNeil and Mikalenko are first and second drop on the bench. Jackson is my captain this week away to Southampton. I've got Mo Salah as the vice. I think Jackson is probably going to break out this week against Southampton and score a lot. We've seen Harry loves to score, especially in the first half. Just gets in behind the defender. And he's very confident one-on-one with goal with the goalie. Does that make sense? Yeah, very confident with the goalie one-on-one. So I think he'll do pretty well. Run through my team at the start. It's a coin flip, really. Verbruggen and Flecken both have got horrible fixtures. Verbruggen's away to Fulham. Fulham will score. Flecken's away to Villa. Villa will definitely score. So I went with the lesser of two evils and Bart Verbruggen in goal. Ryan Aït-Nouri away to Everton. I think he can do some damage there. Luca Dean home to Brentford. Sure. Who knows what he's going to do, but at least if Villa's at home, that should be okay. Urian Timber at home to Manchester United. He's got some pace on him, so he'll be key to stopping players on the break. So hopefully he can cover the defenders if they're not getting back quick enough. He needs to cover Rashford and he needs to cover Ahmad as well. So good luck to you, buddy. Kulusevski away to Bournemouth. I think this is his chance. He should start this game week. He only played 20 minutes in the last game week, so he'll definitely start this one. João Gomez away to Everton, as I said earlier. He had 2 double-digit hauls in the last 3. Make that the last 4 now because he blanked last game week. But he seems to go big, small, big, small. We're on the rise, buddy. I need you to get me a return. Mo Salah away to Newcastle. He was a captaincy option. He wears my vice captaincy armband. I think a lot of people are just going to go Mo Salah, set and forget captaincy, which probably isn't a bad idea. But not for me this week. I need to do something different. What's the worst that can happen? I can't fall another million, can I? Bloody hell. Mbeumo away to Villa. He's always a chance. Usually in these tough games, he plays in the centre more. Last week, even though the Brentford played really well, he pretty much stayed out wide. Quite a few of the replays, and I actually watched this one live, but quite a few of the replays you saw when the players were scoring, he's still out in the touchline there in the box. So he did also get an assist that was taken away because it was touched by a defender or deflected by a defender, which is bullshit, but it is what it is. Havertz at home to Manchester United. He's playing himself back into a bit of form. Haaland at home to Forest. He will play himself back into form. I'm putting it out there. He's going to get me points. Well done, Erling. Thanks very much. And my captain is Nicholas Jackson, away to Southampton. I believe he can do the damage there. On the bench, as I said, we've got Flecken, we've got McNeil, Mikalenko, and Wout Faes, who's home to West Ham. All 3 of those players, I think, if someone gets injured or someone gets benched or just gets dropped for whatever reason, all 3 of those players can slot in. The one good thing about this team is it seems to have 15 players who can play every week. So over this fixture congestion, we can move forward and hopefully get back to 795 in at least a couple of weeks. But that's how I line up. I think game week 14, we should get, it says 47 points. I reckon we could slam a few more than that. We could hopefully get into the 50s, but we'll see what happens. Good luck, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope your arrows are green and your differential score hat tricks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. FPL Crusader, my name's Luke. Thank you very much. Have a good game week.